everybody. David Fogel here, CEO of the Symphonina Foundation, 501c3 nonprofit with the mission of spreading the joy of symphonic music to young audiences around the world. And I'm here today with Tim Mahony from Sydney, Australia. Tim's our cello player, and we had the pleasure of having him perform on our upcoming album, Introducing the Symphonina. He performed on Christopher Reed and Steve Locke's Symphoninas. Tim, how are you today?
I'm great, thanks, David.
Yeah, thank you. You know, it's funny, we had no chance of finding each other, but I found you like I found so many other orchestra players searching on the internet, you know, and like, wow, you know, there's so many hidden gems of talent in the world, and you're one of them. So thank you very much for your help and your participation on the album. We're looking forward to having it get released later this week.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I really enjoyed being a part of it.
That sounds great. Thank you. So, you know, if I understand correctly, you know, some people, particularly in orchestra music, they're kind of destined to play the instrument that they play. They start when they're 3 and they do it forever, you know. But if I understand correctly, I think you started with guitar rather than cello. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Unlike many cellists, I didn't actually start learning until I was 27.
Goodness, yeah.
I used to play guitar. I grew up playing guitar, and I played in sort of rock bands, and I was a singer and guitarist. But I always liked cello, and I always wanted it in songs that we did. You know, I always, wouldn't it be good to have some cello and that sort of thing? And then, and we were doing a bit of our own recording, so I just thought, well, why don't I just learn how to play it? That'll be much easier.
Yeah, mother being the necessity of invention, or invention being the mother of, I don't know how that goes. But
exactly,
anyway, right. It's one of those, it depends on your mood at the time, but
yeah, I think so.
That's good. So you started very late then, but you obviously had a lot of musical training before you got there.
Well, yeah, I was only ever really self-taught with guitar. I mean, like as you do with tablature and stuff on the internet, it's very easy. You learn all your favorite songs and that kind of thing. Yeah. So I had musical knowledge and musical theory from school and things like that, so I could read music and stuff. So I got a tutor who lived fairly close to where we were at the time, and had weekly lessons, and just kind of went from there.
Yeah.
Gradually got to a point where I was confident enough to play it with the band, but I didn't actually play with that band much cello because, as you know, cello is a challenging instrument to learn. So by the time I was confident enough to play in a band, that was a few years later, and I joined a band specifically with cello to play, and that was a kind of a dark folk kind of band.
Yeah,
that I was playing with. Yeah.
So I've never played cello. I have played violin for maybe 4 or 5 months. I mean, on more woodwind, as you can see behind me here with the saxophones, and also guitar. But I know going from guitar to violin, it probably is the same going to cello in some regards. It's like, where are the frets? And like
that's the challenge, you know. That's the real challenge. Is you don't have so much leeway as the width of a fret. You know, you don't have that. You've got not much. But knowing guitar beforehand helps a lot, because you've got in your mind that sort of picture of the distance between notes and how they get closer as you go further up the fretboard and things like that. It really helps a lot. Yeah.
Right. Then besides your individual tutor, did you find any value of instructional information online with YouTube videos or things like that, or any course books that you worked out of, or how did that go for you?
Yeah, lots of videos online. I can't remember the guy. He's like hotel room cello. He's a guy that used to tour around playing cello, and he had really good videos about sort of warming up and exercises for warming up and things like that. I used to watch a lot of those kind of videos just to help. Jacob Szaleski, I think his name is a kind of modern improvisational cellist, and he's got a lot of resources that are really good for learning kind of modern cello and that sort of thing. Yeah.
So people who are interested in picking up the cello now and would like a little bit of help from the internet would be good to look him up, or what would you suggest?
Yeah. Maybe not start with him, because he does have beginner exercises, but it's better once you've had a few years, I think, for his. But there's plenty of beginner kind of cellist instructional videos out there, like really a lot. And you just got to kind of, the good thing is you can look around and find the person that sort of you click with, not personally, but you click with on video, and is kind of teaching the way you want.
Right.
Yeah.
When you're maybe helping a young person, I know like for violins, there are smaller size violins up to full size, right? Is that the same thing for cellos too?
Yeah, I think as in the sizes,
Yeah.
they start from quarter size, and I think there's a size and a half size and a full size. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And anything that you would give as a recommendation for a student, let's say they're in their teens or something like that, so they're already fairly well grown, maybe they have a little bit to go, but you know, things to look for in the instrument that they would be interested in purchasing that would be like, that's a good thing, or that's maybe more cello than you need, or, you know, things along that line.
Yeah, I think it's worth investing in a good cello, because what you don't want, it's the same with guitars. I think cheaper guitars have a really high action, and they're a lot of effort to push down the strings. You really want to make sure it's one that's you're comfortable and you don't have to exert too much pressure pushing down, because the real key to playing cello is staying relaxed and not being tense. So you don't want putting all your effort in sort of really high strings and pushing lots of effort and that sort of thing. So I would advise, definitely don't just buy the first cello you see. Like, try them out in lots of stores. Don't worry how good you are, just play a scale, you know, and play a scale and try 10 different cellos and then pick the one that was best. What I did when I bought my latest cello was take my phone and record myself playing on the cello, played like 10 different ones, and then listen back to them to see which one I liked the sound of best.
Interesting. Okay, so you kind of let your phone be the guide.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's very useful.
Yeah.
Quick recording.
So what kind of recording setup do you have?
So I just have a sort of pretty typical home studio kind of setup with a laptop. I use Reaper for recording software. I've got monitors there, and then just a Motu input for plugging in cello. And I've got a microphone. The main microphone I use is it's a valve mic, but it's actually a pretty economical one, but I think sounds really, really good. It's an MXL 900, I think, which is a really good choice for people that want that kind of warm valve sound but don't want to spend thousands of dollars.
Yeah. And how far away do you put the mic from the cello then when you're playing?
I did a lot of testing initially, and there's really good resources for ideas for where to position it. But I generally put it about 2 hands away above the bridge, pointing down towards the bridge at a bit of an angle, and that's what I've found is the best spot for my cello. But again, each cello is different. Like, mine has quite boomy low notes, so you've got to, if I go off an angle, then it doesn't pick them up as much and things like that. So it's a slightly tedious but also fun thing to just test different positions, but it's worth it because each cello sounds different. So you can.
And I suppose you could make your own cello record differently then by putting the microphone in different places, right? So
exactly, yeah. If you're doing different parts, then you want one that's more like softer and in the background, then you put it in one spot. But if you're doing a lead part, you can kind of put it closer or more towards the higher notes and something to pick up a different sound as well.
Right. I think someone could try to simulate more of a cello section by placing the mic in different places too. A little bit of different, and then adjusting EQ, things like that. Now with you, we had you play cello 1 and cello 2 through Christopher and Steve's performance, and then blended that with everybody else's performance. So I have to ask you, you know, when this crazy guy from San Diego comes to you with an idea of recording short symphonies and blending them with other people, what was your initial thought to that, and how did you get yourself to say, yeah, that's a good idea?
Oh, I said yes straight away. It seemed really great. I mean, I love recording. Like, I've always loved that even before I played cello, like doing home recording. And when I was young, I used to do it with 2 tape players, you know, next to each other, you know, that sort of thing. So I've always enjoyed it. So yeah, having the chance to do it with a symphony too is really exciting because it's great. Again, it's a great foundation of music. That's another thing I would recommend for young people is getting into symphony and that kind of music is a really good foundation. Even if it's not your preferred music, knowing how to play that and that sort of music, then you can go on to do whatever you want from there. Yeah, so I was really excited. I was really glad to be a part of it, and the music was fantastic, and it was challenging, really challenging, but that was good. It was like cello boot camp, you know.
Well, you know, we'll be playing some of your cello on the outro to share with people. And you know, the thing that I really appreciate about the cello, each instrument has its own things to appreciate, right? So the things that I really appreciate about the cello is its versatility. It can be the background, it can be warm, it can be attacking, it can be the melody. It can be almost anything that someone could sing. I think pretty much the you know, as low as the lowest tenor probably, and then you know, up high in the soprano. Doesn't get too thin at the top, and at least in my opinion. And I mean, it's an incredibly versatile instrument. So
what I like is, again, this is good for anyone learning, is that cello, I love that it has the power to move you with just like a single long note. You know, you don't have to be da-da-da-da-da-da. You can like play some really carefully well written, you know, long melody notes, and it can like, you can go, wow, you know, like it can change a song completely just with, you know, being able to play some simple notes.
Yeah, you know, our mission is spreading the joy of symphonic music to young audiences. But I do want to make a point that a lot of older people, let's say older than me, come to music and they say, I'm too old to learn. And I don't know how you feel about that in general, but what would you say specifically for adult players who want to pick up the cello? Is there a specific challenge for them, or is it just a matter of persistence?
I think persistence, yeah. I think you probably don't expect to learn as fast and absorb as much as like a kid learning would, but I would definitely say you're never too old. Like that's crazy. Don't ever think that. Like I said, even if you can only play, you know, some single notes like one at a time, it's really fun. Like it's really good. As soon as you know, start playing, you'll feel that kind of vibration and you'll enjoy it. And I guess the thing with learning is don't expect yourself to be really good straight away. Just enjoy each step that you're at, especially with older cellists. I think maybe you want to get really good really quickly, but just take it one step at a time and find a good teacher and do it that way and just have fun with it.
I hopefully we'll be inspiring young people to pick up the cello, and we'll be inspiring their parents to pick up the cello too. You never know.
Exactly.
Right?
Definitely never too old to start learning in
I agree with that. Tim, anything else you'd like to cover while we're here today?
No, I don't think so. That's all
right. Well, I greatly appreciate your time with me, and also all the time and effort that you put into your recordings along with everybody else. We had probably 35 individual players from around the world recording on Christopher Reed's and Steve Locke's and my own symphoninas, including after mine, the Budapest Scoring Orchestra as well, that I should mention. So we're really excited about the album coming out, and we're excited about what we have in store for next year with the International Symphonina Orchestra. And Tim, I hope you'll be a part of it as we get
love
into
to. It's such a good project, and I'm really excited about hearing it. And
all right, well, thank you so much. I'll let you go in Sydney, Australia over there, where it's sometime in the morning. And for everybody else, with David Fogel signing off, and stay tuned for more.